Hey there, thank you for joining me for today's practice. My name is Paula. So today's sequence is really just working through a few parts of the body, particularly like the upper body and a little bit through the hips as well. Lovely practice to unwind and just do a little bit of therapeutic work on yourself to release. So if you've got a bolster, please have that or some firm cushions, or just use that towards the end. And also the block we will use a little bit as well. If you don't have a block, you can do the practice without the block or the bolster as well. But yeah, it will be really nice if you do have them. So make sure you're nice and comfortable, and we're going to start in our child's pose. So coming over the knees, and let's have the big toes together, knees nice and wide, sitting back onto the heels. And then just to begin with, let's just stack one hand on top, rest the forehead down. Just take a couple of moments in stillness. Just feeling into the body, feeling into the breath. Allowing the hips to be heavy. And starting to deepen into the breathing, if that feels available. Breathing into the sides of the ribs, the backs of the ribs. Letting go of the day, or whatever you've had just going on and whatever you've got coming up. Just allowing yourself to be right here. And then let's extend the arms just out a little bit. They don't have to become really active. We just want to get the forehead resting down onto the mat. If that doesn't feel available, you could always use your block to lift up a little bit higher. So we're just going to start to roll across the forehead from one side to the other. Just gently rolling across the forehead over to the left. Across the forehead over to the right. Just allowing the head to be in as much contact with the mat as you can. So try to really release the weight down. And if you're on a really hard floor, if this feels painful, then please feel free to just skip it. You can just rest down onto the head for a moment. And then let's come back to center and come to stillness. Come onto all fours, wrists underneath the shoulders, and we'll take our cat-cow. So coming into your cow to begin with, lifting the tailbone up, lifting the sternum, lifting the eyes. As you exhale, press the mat away to lift the front of the body up towards the back of the body, tucking the chin in. And then again, inhaling, finding your cow, and then exhaling, finding your cat, tucking the tailbone under, chin coming in, and inhale to release, and then exhale, C curve. You might want to tuck the toes under, and then inhale, release the toes down, and then exhale, tucking the toes under, and then coming back into just your neutral spine. I'm going to take the left hand a little bit further over to the left, and then that karate chop action with that right hand, we're going to lengthen out through the right side waist and try to sit back towards the right heel. You're not going to get all the way there. You want to be quite active through this right arm, opening up through the inner edge of that underneath part of the right arm into the side body, and then coming through center to go to the other side. Right hand comes down, karate chop that left hand, and then you try to sit back towards that left heel, but you don't go all the way there. Keep quite active through this left arm. Relax that right elbow down, and then inhale through center. Let's karate chop that right hand down, sitting back towards that right heel, and inhale through center. Karate chop that left hand, sitting back towards that left heel. And then one more time, moving through, karate chop that right hand, sitting back as you exhale. Inhale through center, karate chop that left hand and pressing back towards that left heel. And then coming back through center here. And then let's come all the way down onto the belly. You just want to make sure you've got enough space here. Just coming onto the forearms for a minute. We're going to take that right elbow out to the side. Relax that right cheek down, using that left hand rolling over onto the right side body to bring the left foot back behind you, coming into your broken wing. But what we're going to do is move from side to side a few times before holding. So you're rolling back through center, allowing the head to stay as much in contact with the mat as you can. Left forearm comes down, rolling over onto the left side body, bringing the ball of the right foot down behind you if you can, or just heading in that direction. And then rolling through center, just allowing the head to be really relaxed. Right forearm comes out, rolling over to the right side body. And that left elbow stays relaxed as well. Rolling through center. Left forearm into that 90-degree shape. Staying connected with your breathing. Just go a few more times. It's quite nice to inhale through center and exhale as you roll over, but it doesn't really matter. Just allowing the breath to stay open. Just noticing as you transition from side to side, can you keep as much of the body in contact with the mat? And the next time you come over to the right hand side, we're going to hold it there for a few breaths now. A little bit of gentle pressure down through the inner edge of that right arm, maybe wrapping this left arm behind you. And then releasing that back arm if it's on the back, coming back through the center, coming over onto the left hand side body now. Relaxing that right elbow down, or option here to wrap that right arm behind. So that little bit of pressure through the inner edge of that left arm just to protect the shoulder joint. Open breathing. And then gently starting to come back out of it again. Bring that right hand down, rolling onto your belly. Just take a moment, just in the center here, and then hands underneath the shoulders. Press yourself back into a seated position. And sitting over to one side, taking the legs out long. And make sure you can grab your block. We're going to come down onto the back now. So lying down onto the back. We won't use the block just yet, but in a moment. Feet hip distance apart. Just take a couple of moments just to let the back rest into the mat. And then let's interlace the hands at the base of the head. Just let the head relax down. Just starting with the elbows, just opening out to the side for a moment. Taking an inhale. As you exhale, bring the elbows in towards the side of the head and then lifting the head up, bringing the chin in towards the chest. And so we're not going for like a sit-up crunch here. We're just going to really allow the head to be supported by the hands. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, really let the head relax back into the hands, increasing that stretch along the upper trapezius. And just once again, take an inhale, and then exhale, letting the head relax back into the hands. And then take one more inhale. As you exhale, let's release that all the way down. Just let the elbows open out, and let's relax the arms down for a moment as well. Let's interlace the hands again at the base of the head. letting the elbows drop open. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, bring the elbows in. And then once again, let's bring the chin in towards the chest. We're lifting the head up, but this time we're going to turn the head to look over to the left. Taking an inhale, as you exhale, let the head relax back. And then once again, taking an inhale, and then exhale to let the head relax back into the hands. So you should be feeling this a little bit more on the left side. We'll just go one more time. Inhale, and then exhale to relax back. And then inhale back to center, and releasing all the way down. Releasing those hands, arms down by your side. Just one more time, interlacing the hands, just cradling the base of the head, taking an inhale, exhale, elbows come in, lifting the head up, and then turning the head to look to the right, taking an inhale, and then as you exhale, letting the head just relax back into the hands, but you keep holding on. Then once again, inhale, and then exhale to relax back. And then once more, inhale, and then exhale, relaxing the head back, just feeling the weight of the head, and then releasing, coming back to center and releasing back down, releasing the arms down by your side. Let's just take a couple of moments, just allowing the upper body just to relax back. And then grabbing your block, and let's just go with the lower setting of the block, popping it underneath. And if you don't have a block, you don't need to use one. Letting the hips just rest down, or the back of the pelvis, the flattest part, rest down on the block, arms down by your side. Just taking a few moments just to let that settle in. And then taking one leg up towards the ceiling and then the other leg up to the ceiling. So just flexing both feet if you can. Trying to straighten up through the legs as much as possible. Taking an inhale to bend through the knees, and then as you exhale, straighten and point through the feet. Taking an inhale to bend, and then exhale to straighten and point. Inhale to bend, exhale, straighten, point. Inhale to bend, exhale to point. And then one more time, inhale, and then exhale to point and stretch. Let's bring the feet back down. Bring the soles of the feet together, opening out into your Supta Baddha Konasana. Just feeling into gravity for a moment, just allowing the legs to be heavy. And just noticing if there's anywhere else that's starting to become a bit tight in response to opening up through the hips. So sometimes the jaw or the shoulders start to get a bit tight. Just noticing if you can just let go of the jaw, relax the shoulders. Now we're going to take just a little bit of movement through here. So you're going to bring this right knee up towards the ceiling, taking an inhale. So you're rocking a little bit over to that left side of the hip, and then opening that right knee back out. Taking an inhale, exhaling. Left knee comes up, little rock towards that right side, very subtle, and then inhale to open. Exhale, bringing that right knee up, rocking over to the left, and then inhale to open. Exhale, left knee comes up, rocking a little bit over to the right side of the pelvis, and then inhale to open. Exhale, right knee comes up, rocking a little bit over to the left, and then inhale to open. Left knee comes up, rocking over to the right side, and then inhale to open. And then let's just hold it here just for another couple of breaths. And then let's bring both knees back up, feet flat onto the mat, feet hip distance apart, and then pressing down through the feet to lift the hips up. And you might just stay active here, pressing down through the feet, engaging a little bit through the inner thighs. If you want to take this as a more restorative posture again, then you can just move the block up to its middle height and then rest the back of the pelvis down. So you're taking more of a supported bridge. And let's start to come out of our bridge pose. If you're down on the block, press down through the feet to lift the hips up. Everyone moving the block out of the way and then rolling all the way down. And then just rolling over to the side so we can come up to a seated position and grabbing your cushions or your bolster, we're going to pop the bolster up towards the upper end of your mat and then lie back. Let the upper body lie back over the bolster here. And you can keep the legs long, and you might feel comfortable to just let the head be resting there. You might be able to take the arms up above the head. If that just feels like it's too much to just let the head be hanging down, you could cradle the back of the head. So just still letting that upper body have a release, but supporting the back of the neck and the back of the head. So see what feels right for you. We're going to hold it here for a couple of breaths. As you continue to stay, you might feel like you've got a bit more space to let the head rest all the way down. And then arms can stay relaxed or just opening out, or maybe taking hold of those elbows. Breathing into the upper body. This last couple of breaths here. And then starting to release the arms if you've got them above the head. Using the arms to make your way back up, all the way up to seated. Take your bolster and then let's pop it underneath the knees. And we're just getting ready for our Shavasana. But just to counter that upper body release, let's just take a little forward fold over the knees here, letting the head be really relaxed. Shoulders relaxed. And then inhale, coming back up. Making sure you're nice and warm, and then lying down, just preparing for your Shavasana. Arms a little bit away from the body, palms facing up. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. So once again, deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Last one, inhaling and exhaling. So allowing the breath to come back to just being in and out through the nose. And allowing the breath to return to its natural rhythm. Allowing the body to get a little bit heavier and softer with each exhale. Just resting here for the next few minutes. Please feel free to stay resting here for as long as you would like to. Thank you so much for joining me for today's practice. Namaste.